เข้ามาเอาไว้ตรงไหนไหมสาธุสาธุ
ชื่อไปว่า
ก็ล่าสุดนะไม่ทราบว่าลองเอาไปดูล่าสุดเพิ่งออกมา 2-3 วันนี่เองมั้งยังไม่ได้
ทั้งคืนเลยผมอ่ะ
เลย Okay, Tony will answer your question first.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. My question is, why do some say that the mind is not permanent? Can you help me understand this? Thank you.
People say this sort of thing because they don't really understand the mind. They haven't yet seen the mind themselves. They just heard from what they read. And what they read about the mind can be misleading sometimes. When they say that the mind is impermanent, they don't actually keep changing. So it's not permanent. See. Someday you are happy, someday you are not happy. This is impermanent. But the mind itself is permanent. It never dies. See, this is the difference. The mind, once the body dies, the mind goes on and take up a new body. The mind doesn't die with the body, so it's not impermanent like the body. The body born and then it will get old, get sick and die. But the mind doesn't get old, get sick and die with the body. The mind go on and get a new body. Okay, ถวายก่อนได้
นี่คือชะตาของคุณพ่อที่เพิ่งเสียชีวิตเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุสาธุวางไว้ตรงนั้นเลยก็ตามสบายนะเดี๋ยวจะคุยเป็นภาษาอังกฤษ Okay, Anna, you can start your. Okay. สาธุสาธุขอให้มีความสุขความเจริญขอให้ซื้อประกันภัยซื้อประกันชีวิต
ปวดหลังกระดูกทับเส้นกล่าวอาจารย์นะคะ
ก็ศึกษาไปเรื่อยๆนะแล้วลองปฏิบัติดูแล้วจะเห็นชัด Okay, go ahead.
But because of Maga Puja, can I give a short sermon first for the?
No, just go ahead.
Just read the question first. Yeah. Okay. Question number 1 from Malaysia, from E. Chuan Singh. I am 47 years old Chinese. In my mind, as one is awakened to the nature of his existence, he will no longer have any reason to teach Buddhism because I think Buddhism is something that is impossible to be taught. It will be a great learning process for me to understand the mind of a Buddhist teacher as I have this question in my mind for the past 10 years. So my question is, are you a Buddhist teacher or someone who is formally teaching Buddhism? And if yes, could you explain the reason for the Buddhist teacher to teach Buddhism?
Well, a Buddhist teacher has to teach Buddhism because it's like an English teacher. He has to teach English. He cannot speak. He cannot teach Spanish because he doesn't learn. He didn't learn Spanish. He learned English, so he has to teach English. Same way with Buddhist teacher. He or she learns the teaching of the Buddha, which is Buddhism. Then he could only teach the teaching of the Buddha. He could not teach Christianity or Islam. So I don't see what's the point with this question.
I think he said Buddhism is very difficult to teach. So why a Buddhist teacher teach different teachers?
It is difficult to teach because you haven't learned yet. See, if you haven't learned Chinese, you're gonna find it difficult to teach Chinese. Yeah. But once you have learned Chinese, then you'll find it easy to teach Chinese. Okay.
So his second question: what is in the mind if all knowledges, practices, experiences are all gone from the mind?
They are not gone from the mind. See.
So they are still in the mind.
Yeah, the wisdom. See. The Four Noble Truths, anicca, dukkha, anatta, never separated from the mind. Once it's been established in the mind, it goes with the mind. That's why the mind doesn't come back and reborn, because it sees everything as dukkha. See that everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. So it's like seeing a fire. It doesn't go back to the fire.
Question number 3 from Melbourne, from Australia, from Mr. Amar. Can Ajahn please advise if there is any particular lying posture while we sleep that is more conducive to our mindfulness and practice in general?
Yes, you have to lie on your right side, like a lion posture, like the reclining Buddha. This is the posture for monks, for practitioners to sleep in, because they will be mindful. They can get up easily as soon as they regain their consciousness from sleeping. They will then arise easily. If you lie on your back, then you sleep like a dead person. So it's difficult to get up even after you awake, because it's too comfortable. But if you recline on your right side, it's not that comfortable. So as soon as you awake, you can get up and then continue on with your meditation practice.
Question number 4 from Newark, New Jersey, United States, from Mr. Martin. I would like to ask about impermanence. If everything is impermanent and everything depends on causes and conditions, then what is it that continues to the next life in rebirth?
Well, when we talk about everything, we exclude the one thing, the mind. See, the mind is not included in this everything. When we say everything, we mean everything on this earth, on this world, on the thing that we see, perceive with our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. They are all impermanent because they are composition of the four elements. Like the body, you have to have the four elements to combine to form a body. Same thing with the tree, with vegetation. These things, they combine. Once they combine, then they will have to decompose. They have to separate, because the nature of the four elements, they don't stick together all the time. They want to go back to their own group. Water always wants to separate. The air, the wind wants to separate. The fire wants to separate. But sometimes they have this force of nature that forces them to come together. Like when the rain comes onto the earth, then the tree can arise. But if there's no water, then eventually the tree will collapse. So everything that is composed of the four elements are impermanent. Everything that we are attached to are made up of the four elements. Money, wealth, people, things, they are all made up of the four elements. They are composition. They are not one unique thing. If they are one unique thing, then they will be permanent. What are the one unique thing? We have 6 things that we consider to be unique. Will always remain the same. It's the earth element, the water element, the wind element, the fire element, and the knowing element, which is the mind, and the space element. This will always remain throughout all the ages of time. There will always be earth, water, wind, and fire, space, and the mind, and the consciousness, or the knowing element, we call it. These are one unique element. They are not composed of anything else, so they are permanent. See? But when they combine together, they will they will then form a human being or an animal. See, an animal or a human being has a body which is composed of the four elements and has the mind, the knowing element to manage to run the body, to direct, to tell the body what to do. But then these four elements, these five elements, one day will have to separate. That's when death happens. Then the water element returns to the water element. When you leave a body die, what happens? It decomposes, right? Or the water or the fluid inside the body will seep out of the body. The heat will disappear. The air will evaporate from the body. And all that is left is the earth element. And the mind, the knowing element, then it also separates. It then goes up and take up a new body. So this is what we're talking about. Everything is impermanent. We should say every composition, everything that are composed of the four elements or five elements, they are impermanent. Like the body, like your human body or animal body, they will have to deteriorate one day. They have to die. And everything else that we produce, like cars, anything, telephone, anything that we produce, they one day will break down because they are composed of different components. And this component will eventually degrade and degenerate.
Okay. So his next question is the one who knows permanent.
Yeah, the one who knows is the mind, but right now the mind doesn't know it. The mind is delusional. The mind is led by its delusion to think that it is the body, and then becomes attached to the body and have desire toward the body. The desire not to have the body get old, get sick or die. Once they have this desire, when they get old they become depressed. When they get sick they become depressed. When they die they become depressed. But if they know the truth that the mind is not the body, and that the body will have to eventually get old, get sick and die, and then accept the truth and stop the desire not to get old, get sick and die, then it will not be depressed when the body get old, get sick or die.
Question number 5 from Singapore, from J. Lo. Longta Mahabua mentioned there are two general ways in meditation to achieve stillness. One being samadhi develop wisdom, and the other is wisdom develop samadhi. With experimentation, I realized that being a layman, my mind is active with thoughts and runs around endlessly. Contemplating a dharma question or concept allows the monkey mind to run within this fence, and sometimes it can then eventually settle into concentration. Will Venerable Ajahn share the key points in using wisdom develop samadhi as a means to develop concentration?
Well, just like you just mentioned, when you sit to meditate and your mind still keeps thinking about work or about the problems you have, and you cannot use a mantra or use the breath to calm it down, then you need to, it is permanent or not permanent. No matter how good your work is, how well you do with your work, one day you're gonna run out of work anyway. So if you worry, why should you worry? If you worry you're gonna lose your job, don't worry because you're gonna lose it one day. So, and you cannot tell when you're gonna lose it. You might lose it today or tomorrow. So if you can accept the truth that your work is impermanent and there's nothing you can do about it to make it permanent, then you just forget about it and accept it. See? Once you accept that you're gonna lose the job one day, sooner or later, then you have no worry about your work, your job. Then your mind then settle down. Then you can then concentrate on your breath. See, it's only one step to the next. It's not the wisdom that takes you all the way into a full samadhi. You still need to concentrate on your breath to get into full concentrate on your breath. So you have to eliminate this agitation and restlessness by using wisdom. Wisdom is to see things as anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, subjected to suffering, and everything doesn't belong to you. Sooner one day you're gonna lose it. If you can see the truth, then you will not worry about anything or anybody. Right now you think people and things belong to you, and you want them to stay with you. And when they start to show sign of not gonna stay with you, then you become worried, agitated. Yeah. So if you look at the truth and say they're gonna leave you one day, sooner or later, and there's nothing you can stop them from doing this, or either they leave you or you leave them anywhere. So if you can see this truth, then you just stop worrying. Then your mind can settle down, and then you can sit and concentrate on your breath.
Then after sitting on the breath and we take samadhi, then we go back to the inside again with the same.
Then you have to tackle the thing that you still attached to. See, if you are still attached to money, then you have to tackle this attachment. Say, if you still attach to money, you will have problem with money. When you rely on things that is impermanent, then they will always cause you to be unhappy, worry, anxious, because you don't know when you're gonna lose them, and you don't want to lose them. That's the problem. So the point is not to rely on them, so that you can then let them go anytime they want to go.
As part of the development. But however, with wisdom developed samadhi, most commonly one is unable to witness nimitta. Will Venerable Ajahn explain why?
Well, when you use the wisdom, your mind is constantly working. See, the mind, the sankhara is working, and working rationally, so that it cannot have room for any images to arise. But when you're merely concentrating on an object, then your sankhara is not working, or is free to do something else. So your sankhara then can create images, nimitta, when your mind hasn't yet fully become calm. Your nimitta arises from your sankhara, see. When you use wisdom, you're using sankhara to stop your sankhara is free to create images, because you're not using sankhara.
So is this images sankhara, is it delusional or is that true?
It's just sankhara, it's just images. Delusion is the mind, see. The mind to, when they see images, then they start to think it is this or that, then this is delusional. If you have wisdom, you'll see all images as impermanent, as dukkha, and just like you see everything else. See? But if you're delusional, you start to think, oh, this is money, or this is good, this is bad. Then this is delusional.
Question number 7 from Perth, Australia, from Moon Lee. I have made an observation that some people who do a lot of meditation over some time end up being more self-centered and selfish. They hide themselves in the cocoon and are so afraid of disturbing their peace of mind. Why is that so, and is this the right practice?
Well, it's normal. It's normal for people to behave like this, because when you try to calm your mind, you want to be alone, and once you can calm your mind, you want to protect your calm. So you don't want to get involved with people, because when you start to get involved with people, your mind start to think and start to agitate, and then you lose your calm. See? So for meditators, we tend to be aloof, tend to be alone. We don't want to socialize. So you have to understand this is the nature of meditator. If you go to a meditation temple, you won't see people lingering around and socializing. Everybody, they keep inside and just do what they have to do. They don't look at you, they don't smile at you, they don't say, how are you, hi, because this is not what they are here for. They are here for the mind to stay inside, to be peaceful and calm. So it's normal for meditator. During the time of the Buddha, the monks, they hardly talk to each other when they come and do their activity. Until the lay people start to wonder, are the monks mad at each other? They're not talking to each other, they're not looking at each other, So they ask, is there anything wrong with you? And they say, no, this is the way we are. We keep to ourselves. We want to protect the mind from being agitated.
So it's not self-centered.
No, it's trying to keep the mind inside. If the mind starts to come outside, then start to engage, then start to react, and then start to have interaction. And sometimes this interaction can lead into quarrels or problems. So it's better just stay inside.
Okay. And his next question: can you please advise about the duty of a person and the importance of sacrifice in order to successfully walk the Noble Eightfold Path?
Well, the Noble Eightfold Path is divided to two levels: the lay people level and the meditator level. For lay people level, they should do dana, charity. If they can afford to share, then they should share with those who are less fortunate. And they must keep the 5 precepts so that they don't hurt other people and themselves in return. So this is the duty of lay people. To live with other people, you have to be generous, be kind, and also not hurting other people by your action. So you have to keep the 5 precepts and practice generosity. But for meditator, for the people who ordain, they live a different level of practice. They will not live with the family or the community. If the community will be community of monks, and in this community we live separately. We don't socialize, we don't linger. Only when we have to come to do our daily routine, and we try to maintain mindfulness and keeping our mind calm by not conversing, not talking, not interacting with each other. So these are 2 levels of practice for on the Eightfold Path. First you practice, read Dhamma books, so you have some wisdom of the Buddhas to guide your life. But you can only do this on a minimal level because you won't have much time. You have to spend more time in your working life. You have to make a living. So most of your time will be devoted to making a living and then spending money for enjoyment. So you won't have much time to meditate or read the wisdom of the Buddha. But you should do as much as you can, because it will then can lead you to the next level. If you don't meditate, if you don't study the teaching of the Buddha, you will be stuck in the lower level. But if you read the teaching and you practice meditation, then you will have the strength or the capability to move up to the next level, to live an ordained life, live a monk's life. Everybody starts the same way. We all start from the low level first, and then after that we move up to the higher level.
Question number 8 from Jakarta, Indonesia, from Miss Amy Kwa. If somebody can become when facing death, and if he has enough good merits to be reborn in good condition again, is this the way to become Sotapanna? What should the Sotapanna think when he faces death?
He think the body is not himself. See? He will think like he's a driver and the body is like an automobile. So whatever happens to the automobile doesn't happen to the driver. The mind and the body are 2 separate things. The mind is like a driver and the body is like an automobile. A Sotapanna can separate the 2, the mind from the body. So the mind can remain calm and let the body go its natural way. Let the body get old, get sick, and die. Then he's not afraid of old age, afraid.
And how to develop this third eye or psychic ability when he's still in learning stage in his meditation?
Well, you need to calm your mind. See, when your mind is calm, then your inner eye will open. Because right now your inner eye is being blocked by your delusion, your defilement. And when you meditate, you get rid temporarily of the delusion and the defilement. Then your inner eye opens up. Then it will see itself, see the mind, and see everything else. Second level is to teach the inner eye to see the truth as they are, but not as what the mind used to think they are. When the mind is deluded, it thinks everything belongs to himself or herself. Everything is I, mine, and myself. Everything is permanent. Everything is happiness. But when you have the wisdom, the teaching of the Buddha, then you can see that everything is impermanent. Everything is not happiness. Everything is suffering, and everything doesn't belong to you. So this is the second level. The second level, you need to teach the mind to look in that direction, to see things as impermanent, not permanent, to see things as suffering, not happiness, to see things that doesn't belong to you, not belong to you.
So it's not the psychic ability, right? It's different.
The psychic ability arises at the stage of calm. When your mind becomes calm, if you have some previous ability, hidden ability, it will arise. You might be able to trace your past life. You might connect with the other non-physical beings. Or you might be able to read the mind of other people, read the thoughts of other people, what they think, so forth. This come up on the samadhi level, on the calm level. But they are not conducive to the practice of vipassana. They cannot make the mind become attain to the Makkaphala Nibbana. If you attach to them, then you will get stuck and you will not move forward. You will think this is something good for you, and you won't. Then instead of developing the vipassana, you end up developing your psychic power and use your psychic power to do whatever you want to do. Then you will be still deluded. You will not be able to develop insight so that you can get rid of your delusion and attain to the Makkaphala Nibbana.
Question number 10 from Kokse. Ajahn, what is hell and heaven in Buddhism?
Hell and heaven, the mind is the one that experience. If it's happiness, is heaven. When the mind is suffering, it's hell. So that's heaven and hell. It's in the mind. It's not a place. It's a state of mind.
Question number 11 from Canada, from Miss Deborah. In my work, I feel very incompetent, disorganized, and scattered. I feel like I don't know what needs to be done and how I should do it. When I meditate, I feel peaceful and calm and would like to meditate full time, but unfortunately, I cannot do it because my children are still young. I think I still have to do my work for the next 16 years. How do I approach my incompetency of my job? Should I just accept my incompetency and be satisfied with it? Or should I spend a lot of extra time trying to develop my skill at the job by getting extra lessons, courses, and training?
Well, it's up to you, whatever makes you happy. If you can get rid of your incompetence by learning, studying from other people, and if it's worth your time, then do it. But if you find it's not worth your time and cost you more work to do, because when you study, you have to, it's like working. So there's the cost. There's what you call the cost-benefit thing that you have to consider. whether the benefit outweigh the cost or not. If the benefit is not worth the cost, then maybe just remain as you are and accept your incompetency. But then you might not move forward. You might not get promoted.
Okay.
You might get fired.
Okay, no problem. So, next question is from Elizabeth Werberg. Dear Ajahn, you said in a talk that it's okay to eat meat. According to the sutta, a Dhamma practitioner is supposed to tremble for welfare of other beings. Don't you know the extreme suffering that billions of beings go through because the demand of meat is being kept up?
No, because everybody born will die anyway. So regardless whether you eat meat or you don't eat meat, everybody who is born will die. So you don't change that fact. You can be vegetarian, everybody can be vegetarian, then everybody will still end up dying anyway. So eating vegetarian food doesn't stop people and animals from dying. When I say that you can eat meat, I mean eat the meat that is already dead. Like if you raise some chicken and some ducks and one day they die, you can have a choice. You can throw it away or you can cook and eat it. But you're not supposed to kill, that's all. Or tell somebody else to kill for you. That's wrong. Because you cause harm and injury to other people. But if they should die of their own natural cause or accidental, then you have a choice how to dispose of that body. You can burn it, you can bury it, or you can cook it. That doesn't change anything, right? Okay.
I think vegetarians sometimes they think if I don't eat meat, so I reduce the demand for meat because other people have to kill them.
Yeah, but they still die anyway, right? If they're not die by being killed, they'll die of natural causes anyway. So it's the same thing. So the Buddha tackled the problem of death at the root. The root of the death is birth. So stop rebirth. Stop when there's no rebirth, then there's no death there. But once you are born, you're gonna die, regardless whether you eat or not eat meat. You cannot stop death. Animals' death or your death is the same. Whether you're eating vegetarian food or eating meat, those animals, once they're born, they're all gonna die.
Okay. The next question number 13, from Baja California State, Mexico, from Mario. He explained about his life situation and would like to ask Ajah's advice. There are a lot of disorder in my house and I think I'm being bullied in my family. I'm only interested in helping to maintain order, but I ended up being accused as the cause of the disorder. So his question, what is the cause and result regarding karma of someone hiding things from the unwelfare of someone else?
Hiding things from the unwelfare of someone else.
I think by stopping someone else to find happiness. He didn't explain.
Hiding someone else's welfare from someone else.
Yeah, maybe stop people from having happiness. Sorry, no. Maybe I ask again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot understand this question.
Okay, he has 3 questions. So his second question is, what is the cause and result regarding karma when someone said some event that had happened but no one believed him and he actually is falsely accused?
Well, whatever happens. You just have to wait and see, But generally, we speak of good karma will bring good results, and bad karma will bring bad results. But whatever action you take, there will be some result, and some of the results they are not predictable. So you just have to wait and see, and be ready to accept whatever the result that happened. The way to treat the consequence of your action is to be ready for it, good or bad, right or wrong, good or bad. The Buddha says we all have our own karma. regardless of what kind of karma we do, good or bad, we will be the one to will be the one who will receive the consequence of those karmas. So whatever you do, just be ready to accept whatever consequence.
So even if he's falsely accused of something,
Yeah.
so you just accept.
Just accept it. Just accept that the problem is our being born in this world. The real problem is being born in this world. So if we can stop being born, then we won't have to come and face all this problem. So the Buddha said, try to solve the root problem of our karma. And the root problem of our karma is to be born again. So we can stop from being born again, then we can solve all the problem. All this question will never arise.
Okay. His next question. In the Mangala Sutta, when the Buddha refers to residing a suitable place, what does this truly mean for someone who doesn't even have a basic necessity? That means that someone live in a country which have political problems or violent country or country ruled by anarchy. How does a person practice living in such place?
Well, you should have to accept your lot. If you cannot do anything else, then you just have to accept that this is the consequence of your birth. But if you can do something about it, then do it. If you can move to some other place, go, But if you cannot, then you just have to accept that this is the consequence of your karma.
So it's very difficult to practice in such condition, is that so?
Well, I think there's nothing that is impossible, if you try. If you think the place you stay is full of confusion, full of violence, then why stay there? Move to some place else.
Okay.
The reason why you don't want to move maybe because of your attachment. You may be attached to somebody or something, some location you like or something. Then you don't want to move. See? So you have to use rationality and ask yourself, staying here better or moving away better for you.
So his next question, how a solution can be made in Dhamma practice?
Just use the rationality. Look at the cost and benefit from your action. If you do it, the cost outweighs your benefit, then better not do it. If it costs more than what you get, then why do it? But if it costs less than what you get, then you do it.
The next question from Russia, from Mr. Roman. Good day, great teacher. My life isn't easy, so I would like to ask on how to find my way and gain confidence, at least to live in this world.
You just have to accept whatever happens to you. If you can accept them, then you'll find that you can be happy under every situation. The problem is you don't accept. You don't want accept the situation that you're in. So you are desiring, and when you desire, you start to create all forms of emotional bad feelings. But if you accept, then your mind will be calm and peaceful.
And his next question, why are all things that I'm trying to believe are imperfect and constantly disappoint me?
Because everything is impermanent. You cannot expect everything to be according to what you like it to be. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't.
Question number 17 from Kok Seng. May I ask, how can someone become a Buddhist? Can he declare himself as a Buddhist, or does he need to go through ordination to become a real Buddhist?
No, you just accept the teaching of the Buddha, accept the enlightenment of the Buddha, and accept the enlightenment of his noble disciple, and accept them as your teacher. That's all, and then follow their instruction.
Question number 18 from Penang, Malaysia, from Sunny. Ajahn mentioned about 3 levels of panya. First is Sutta Maya Panya, second is Cinta Maya Panya, and what is the third level and what is it called in Pali?
It's called Bhavana Maya Panya. This is the wisdom combined with samadhi. See, when you cinta, you just think without having samadhi. Right. right now when you listen to my talk, you are developing Sutta Maya Panya, the wisdom that arises from listening. Then you take what you listen today and think about it again to get better understanding or to maintain, not to lose this wisdom. Then it's called Chintamaya Panya. But these two types of Panya cannot get rid of your defilements. You need the third one. You need the Chintamaya Panya that you learn from the Buddha or from his teaching along with your samadhi. You have to have a calm mind, because when your mind is calm, your mind will be strong enough to get rid of your defilements. But you need the teaching of the Buddha to tell you why you have to get rid of your defilements, because the Buddha said your defilement causes you suffering. See? If you have no teaching of the Buddha, you will think your defilement causes you happiness. Like when you want to have money, you think this is good, but the Buddha said this is bad. So you need samadhi in order to have the third type of panya, the third type of wisdom, which is called pavana maya panya. Pavana means samatha pavana, the development of calm. Then together with the teaching of the Buddha that you heard, it can become pavana maya panya.
So for the first and the second, we can forget about it. Right?
You can forget, or if you don't forget, you cannot get rid of your defilements. Like the Buddha said, drinking is bad for you, but you still drink because you cannot stop your defilement. You don't have the strength to stop it. But if you practice meditation, if you can calm your mind, then you have the strength to stop your defilement.
So, question number 19 from Roy Yo. Dear Ajahn, every morning I've been following your daily Dhamma, and I'm grateful to be able to enrich my spiritual path. I try to share with my friends who are Chinese educated, but they told me they do not know the meaning and asked me to interpret. I think if Ajahn can have Mandarin speaking people to have it interpreted, then it will be beneficial for the Mandarin speaking community. In this way, Dhamma will reach to the heart of more Buddhist community.
Yes, I wish I speak 10 languages, but unfortunately that's all I can do is speak English and Thai. So maybe someday someone who can speak Chinese will come and collect all the Chinese questions and then come and ask me. Like the other day we have a group from Malaysia and they have a leader who speaks Thai and Chinese. And the people who came there from Penang and they don't speak English. They speak some English but they're not good English. They only know Chinese. So this man who is the leader asked me the question for them in Thai. Then I tell them, and he translates what I said to them.
In Chinese.
Yeah. So maybe one day you can take up the Chinese question. Can you speak Chinese?
I cannot.
Okay. Then we have to find someone who can speak Chinese, and then they can then ask question in Chinese. In the meantime, I have a book, my biography, translated into Chinese. I'm not sure whether it's online or not.
It's online. I think it's posted. Normal.
Okay.
And the next one is also regarding language, because one group already in the process of translating Mountain Dhamma into Bahasa Indonesia, which is Dr. Mary. And then about last week, there's a guy called Pisa Kendro. He asked permission to print Mountain Dhamma in Bahasa, which apparently he already finished translating it. So
Okay, I have no what you call no restriction. Anybody who wants to translate and print, they can do it. I don't sort of give one person the right to translate and print and not other people. Okay. Anybody, they want to translate and print, as long as they are faithful to the translation, that's all.
So there are two different versions, is alright as well?
I guess so. What can I do? Then you should have to compare.
Okay. So
I have no time to come and check all the translations,
Yeah. And I asked Dr. Mary, I think I don't know what is her difficulties. She doesn't want to send a soft copy, so at least it is online then. But I don't know.
I don't know. People have defilements. They still have this attachment to thing and think that it belongs to them and other people cannot have them.
So I just tell him that he can print.
Yeah, as long as they try to translate as faithfully as possible.
Okay.
Like the Buddha, he doesn't ask people to stop translating his books. Yeah? His teaching now been translated into all the languages, and he has no time to come and check all his teachings. It's up to those who know to maybe help correct if they read and they find it's not correct.
Okay. So the last one is from Florida, United States, from Rose. Dear Ajahn, when will you come to the USA to give Dhamma teaching? I live in Florida, Space Coast, and hope to listen to you one day.
I can talk to your group if you connect with me through Skype. I'm available at 9 a.m. your time in the morning, any day. So
It's 24 hours, right?
it's not 24 hours. So it's 11 or 12 hours, depending on the time.
Okay.
If it's daylight saving time, it's 11.
Okay.
If it's now, it's 12 hours. I'm available at 9 p.m. my time.
9 p.m.
So it's 9 a.m. in the East Coast right now. So if she wants to listen or to talk to me through Skype, she can send an email to you, and then you can forward it to me. Then I'll give her the information about my username, and then we can connect. Actually, I can tell you right now, my username on Skype is prasuchat.apichato on Skype. Or Prasuchat, I have two Skype name, two username. They just search my name and they'll find it. But I usually don't turn on the application only when I have to use it.
And arrange some timing with Long Paul. Right?
Yeah, I can arrange a timing with them.
Yeah.
But the only time I'm available is 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.
PM.
in the East Coast. Yeah. If it's daylight saving time, it will be 10 a.m. If it's standard time, it will be 9 a.m. in the morning.
But as soon as 9 p.m. Long Paul
Yeah,
time,
right, yeah.
Because in other countries.
Right, they have to adjust. I only have that 1 hour slot that I can be available on Skype at 9 p.m. Thailand time.
Okay.
So anybody want to contact me can contact me on that day, on that time, any day.
Oh, okay. And they ask, I think a lot of people ask, but in the past, whether they can contact from home or must be from temple or because
Doesn't matter. They can,
they just
if I'm available on that time and day, then we can contact personal or group. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you. I think that's all the question, but there's one more just came in from the inbox. He is the Matthew Lai that we send the books to him. So he has a question. I would like to ask, I'm currently a Samanera for 7 months in Mae Hong Son. For having this new lifestyle, my current mental obstruction is boredom, although sometimes I can feel the peacefulness. So how should I overcome it?
You should try to maintain mindfulness. Don't let your mind create this boredom. See, when you're not mindful, then your mind will start to create boredom, because you will have desire to want to go here and there, and then it will start to feel bored with where he is. Yeah. But if he is mindful, keep preventing the mind from thinking or creating this desire, then he won't feel any boredom. So try to use the mantra all the time, like Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or when you start feeling boredom, start reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. Then after a while, your boredom will disappear.
Okay. That's all.
Okay.
คุณโทนี่ถามมาค่ะ
Tony, one more question from Tony. Okay.
If difficulty arises, can they just say so what? Is that a good way to let go of attachment?
Again, can you read it? อ่านอีกทีดิช้าๆหน่อย
So if difficulty arises, can they just say so what?
If you can say so what and leave it alone and don't feel not disturbed by the difficulty, then it's okay. But if you cannot, then you should use a mantra to stop, because sometimes you don't have the strength to let go. So you need the help of the mantra to let go, to stop thinking about your difficulties. If you can say, so what the hell, if I'm going to lose money, okay, let it happen. If you can do that, then you don't have to use the mantra. But you cannot say so what, then you say okay, Bhutto, 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 until you forget about the money. Or you can use the wisdom and say money is impermanent. One day it will leave you, or you will leave it. Yeah. Because when you die, you don't take the money with you anyway. Or when you're still alive and your money could be gone before you die. Whichever way is impermanent. And if you can accept the impermanence of things, then you will not be in difficulties. Okay? Thank you for your questions. And please send in more questions if you like. And we'll see each other again and on the next session, probably about another month from now. Okay. Let me say Anumodana. ยะถาวาริวาหาปุราปาริปุเรนติสาคารังเอวเมวะอิโตทินังเปตานังอุปกัปปติอิชิตังปฏิตังตุมหังคิปะเมวะสมิจจตุสัพเพปุเรนตุสังกปาจันโทปนะระโสยะถามณิโชติระโสยะถาสัพพิติโยวิวัจจันตุสัพพะโรโควินัสตุมาเตภวัตวันตรายโยสุขีทีฆายุโกภวะอภิวาทนาสีลิสะนิจจังวุธาปจายโนจัตตารโอธรรมาวาทานติอายุวันโนสุขังภาลัง Okay. I didn't know you were coming up this morning. I would have stopped, pick you up.